Hello y'all on YouTube, this is Rob with Rob's Nerdy Knives. Today I have a very special review, impressions on a knife I've had for a while that I wanted to do the official review on. This is the McNees Auto. This is the McNees MAC2 3.5 Auto, and this is with the black aluminum handles. And I did add a clip. This is a Lynch clip specifically made and authorized by McNees. So this is the McNees Lynch clip that replaces their official or their thinner titanium Lynch clip. This is also titanium, and so I bought this through McNees directly. So let's talk a little bit about this. This is Jonathan McNees' design. He's the guy who created the knife. Started off with the I think it was a 3-inch I can't talk here. The 3-inch frame lock knife, and then eventually came out with this auto. And I saw the auto and had a really great deal on it, and I thought, yeah, let's take a look. I love Protex. Protex are great knives. Matter of fact, one of my greatest gifts I have is from my wife. It's a Protec TR3. Love that. Got it as an anniversary present. So I was like, okay, well, let's take a look at this. And I heard really great things about it, and I did. So I went ahead and bought it, and the manufacturer is, well, this is USA made. You can see that USA on there, and that's not just a little, kind of slap-on sticker to say USA made somewhere else. He actually makes that himself and in his own shop. And so this is what I would call a mid-tech. Some people would never call it custom, because custom to them means that you never use any sort of machinery, but he does, and most people I know do use machinery, even Koenig and Herman and all those guys. But and let's, for the sake of argument, this is mid-tech, which means it's hands-on, it's hand ground and everything like that. So this is aluminum scales, it's automatic, deep milled pocket titanium clip, which this one actually goes very deep compared to the other one. The other one would stick out quite a bit. And the blade is a Magnacut, CPM-Magnacut hollow grind, beautiful hollow grind, which just comes to a crazy thin, sharp edge. So that's the blade style. It is like a drop point, I would say. I guess maybe you could call it a clip point. I don't know. It's got a nice belly on it, but it's absolutely hollow grind, goes all the way up to the top. This beautiful swedge on top, nice stimpling on top for good grip. When you grab the handle is just ergonomically very comfortable and plenty of room. So I have medium to medium large hands, so this means that I literally can hold this, as a large hands width-wise, medium length-wise. So I would say extra large to double extra large would have no problems holding this. And you go all the way up to the top position. There's no need to worry about any thumb stud or anything getting in the way. So you have a nice full cut, and that thin edge is crazy sharp. And I can tell you, they do heat treat this steel to 63, 64, around that area, which is ideal, the ideal heat treat for Magnacut, which means it's got a perfect hardness, which means it's going to do great edge retention. Just a really awesome thing. How does it open? It's a button lock. So as all automatics, it means it's spring loaded. When you press the button, you've got to make sure, and what I recommend to anybody who's never held one of these is hold on to that clip. Make sure you've got a good grip on that knife, because the first time you do it, if you don't do that, it's going to fly out of your hand. You're going to break the tip, bend the tip, do something horrible, scratch it all up. So make sure you have that nice and tight. You got a good grip, because this is a strong deployment. I actually compared this against my TR3, and this opens faster than the TR3. I did a short on there in a slow-mo video, and yeah, this one definitely beat it much, well, not a ton, but it was definitely faster. So, all right, what else? The ergonomics, it's chamfered all the way around. Nothing's sharp, nothing's harsh. Even the clip here, the original clip was great. This is even great too. Very comfortable ergonomics. Closing it, like with any automatic, you depress the button, you push it down, and the way you can always tell if it's a good automatic is it should lock right back up without going all the way in. The spring should be very strong and be able to do that, and this does. It works really great. Let's see here. What else? The locking, it's a button lock, so it's a plunge lock. That's how it locks in place, which is typical of, you can have button lock, that are not automatic. They're not spring loaded, and they work similarly, but this one is definitely put in place by that spring. Cutaway, it's really cutaway forward. It's very flush fitting. The button is very flush to the ground. You almost can't see it when it's open. It feels it's a little bit up there. So left-handed, I don't see how you could possibly depress that and disengage that. It is, if you can see that, it is hard to even be there with your hand. If you're over here like this left-handed, I think you're going to be in great shape. No worries. This is right-hand tip up only. You can't switch it, so lefties, sorry, but lefties do rejoice. It's very comfortable, and left-handed works really well. And I have no problems when I use this over here with my left-handed as well. So it's really nice as well. Anything else? Measurements. Let's go ahead and weigh this guy. Now this is the aluminum frame, so we'll see how much that weighs. All right, we're looking at 3.76 ounces, which is not bad. 3.76 ounces, pretty good. And let's go ahead and do a length measurement. So we're looking at a blade that's about 3¼ inches all the way to the base of the handle. We're probably close to 3½, just a little under 3½ inches, right? Total length of the knife is going to be about 7½ inches, I would say. It's definitely over 7¼ maybe 7 3/8 is the total length. The handle length, if you go from the very top to there, it's going to be about 3 3/4. So 3 3/4. I mean, if you choke up a little bit, you can get close to that. Yeah, definitely 3 3/4 for sure. But fairly comfortable. And because it's such a wide body with the standoffs here, you get a great presentation on there. Really solid. You can squeeze. There's no hot spots or anything like that. So that works really well for that length and for the length of the handle. So that's kind of cool. All right, let's see. Can we measure? Yeah, we can measure the the thickness of the blade. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so we're looking at 163 hundredths of an inch, 163 hundredths of an inch. So that's just right between 1/10 and 2/10 of an inch. A little closer, you know, just over 1/2 of the way to 2/10 of an inch. So there you go, 163 hundredths. That's not bad. It's a thick, heavy-duty blade, and you can see that it's very thick and heavy-duty in the top part. The tip comes to a very nice point. So if you're like trying to open up dog food, cat food, you know, fertilizer, soil, anything like that, it's got a nice pokey poke tip to it for, you know, opening boxes, Amazon boxes, gifts, whatever. But it has a very nice, that hollow grind is really great for slicing. So you can definitely cut like rope, you can cut threads, you can cut anything that you need to cut. Like if you're in your shop or something like that, you're cutting something up, a tarp, if you have to resize it or something. It works really, really great. Matter of fact, I was using this to cut some plastic when we had hail and tornado here. I had to cover the window, and so I had to put some heavy-duty plastic sheets on that, and then I just lined it out and taped it up there with some duct tape to keep the rain from coming in, because it followed with another big thunderstorm. So that was a lot of fun, and that works really, really great. All right, so that is the measurements of it. I think the ratios are pretty good. You know, you're looking at 3½, 3 1/4. It's right around the 3½ if you go to the base of the thing, and it's 3.76. So, you know, the ratios are pretty close, and I think the balance of the knife is, if I'm not mistaken, let's see, where is it? Yeah, it's right about here. So, you know, it feels very balanced, I think, as far as a knife category. This is definitely high end, no question. This is close to $500 knife, and with this clip on there, it's over a $500 knife. It's close to a $600 knife. So definitely a high end knife, but is it worth it? Absolutely. I know some people feel like, you know, $300 more is ridiculous. Well, that's your opinion, but my opinion is, and I bought it, and I'm enjoying it, and I believe this is absolutely worth it. The craftsmanship on this is ridiculous. It is great. It's phenomenal. Everything. It's nicely centered. Now, it doesn't look centered if you look at it right up front, and that is because this is a hand ground blade. It's not machined. Okay, so a guy hand grounds it, and you can sort of see, or if you can see that on the tip, you can see the swedge is a little longer on this side than it is on that side from the tip, and that, you know, I'm okay with that. I mean, there's an element of humanity, or you know, a hand touch, manual touch to this that really makes this a very unique blade, and it gives it, I don't know, that uniqueness that you're not going to get on just, you know, machine, computerized, run specs. You know, this is when a person does that. I don't know, it just gives it a personal touch to me. It feels like, yeah, that person who did it, you know, and for whatever reason, it still works great. The edge is great. Everything is beautiful. There's no functionality missed out on this. I'm not, my OCD self is actually, I don't have a problem because it is perfectly centered. If you look at the dead center of that there, it's just that little swedge part is, you know, not perfect there. So if you're really OCD, you probably should go for, you know, machine milled, and don't get anything mid-tech, don't get anything custom. Avoid all that. I mean, even the custom ones are going to have a sense of, you know, imperfection in there, in the sense of if you want absolute perfection. Even Brian Nadeau, I mean, he's phenomenal. His stuff is probably next to perfect, but if you look hard enough, you will find something. You'll find it in a Herman, you'll find it in a Shirgorov. I mean, granted, they are some of the best made, and it's very unlikely to find it, but it's going to be there, and I'm okay with that. You know, this is a great knife, no issues whatsoever. So what's the purpose of this? Well, for me, it's automatic. Some people feel like automatic, there's no need for that. Well, automatic is actually very convenient. If you got to cut something open with one hand, it's very quick, and I have no problems closing this with one hand either. You kind of get pretty good at it after a while if you know what you're doing, right? You know how to hold it, you know how to open and close it. It's easy to do, one-handed. At least I have no problem with that. So I can do it, you know, both left-handed and right-handed, no problem. I think everyday EDC, everything from hard tasks, because of the Magnacut, because of the steel, it's phenomenal. This is definitely something in hard use. It's going to retain its edge for a long time. It's going to be very water resistant, I mean corrosion resistant. With water, salt water, Magnacut is just really, it's almost like a saltwater knife, really, because it's very hard to corrode that stuff. So, you know, I think it's hard use anywhere, even on a boat. So that's what I would use it for. I do everyday carry this for the price. You know, some people, oh, this is going to be a collector's. Well, no, every knife I buy, I carry. I don't care what it is, I'm going to carry it. If I can't carry it, I'll sell it, because if I feel like I can't carry it because I don't like it, I'm not enjoying it, I'm going to sell it. If I can't carry it because it's too expensive or something, I will absolutely sell it. So no, I enjoy carrying this one a lot. I actually enjoy carrying this more than my ProTech. So I'm sorry, the ProTech has become sort of a safe queen because it is an anniversary gift and I'll never get rid of it. But I still do carry it once in a while because I like it. But this one is a lot of fun. I've enjoyed this quite a bit. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the ergos and feel after we talked about the purposes. So the ergos and feel, hand design is, as I already said, it's beautiful. It's contoured, it's chamfered along the edges, nothing sharp, everything is really nice and contoured in all the right places. The shape in here doesn't force you in there, but it certainly kind of guides you there. And it's a really great place to grip, even for thick, meaty fingers like mine. And if you have thinner fingers, that works as well, right? And I can definitely go over, and there's plenty of room for all of that. And then the jimping really holds tightly. There's no hot spots. I can just use this all day long and have no problems with it. Can even be, you know, for a precision cut. Now it is kind of got the drop point and it's got a little belly to it. So, you know, you're not going to be doing the precision tip stuff like a Warney or Warncliffe or a sheep's foot, but you can still do some nice cuts with the belly. So that works really well. Deployment designs are beautiful. Again, we've already talked about the button and how it opens and closes. It's just very nice. It's not going to get in your way. Left-handed or right-handed, you're not going to depress it. You're not going to close it. This is just a great knife. There's no need for a lock on this because I'm not going to open it. I'm not going to accidentally open it in the pocket. And I will keep it in pocket like this with the tip inside, so it's going to be against my leg, so it's nothing going to depress. I don't ever put anything in the pocket that I carry a knife because, one, I don't want to scratch it, beat it up, bang it up, and then have anything touch it. So I'm fine with that. Let's see here, the closing design, again, closing, nice resistance like you would on a automatic, and it does deploy right back up to where it should, even if you don't close it all the way, but it closes really nice, locks in place, is solid. Fidget factor, as far as a button lock, I mean, when you talk about fidget factor, I sometimes say something is a 6 out of 10. This is probably a 5 out of 10, right? The most you can fidget is open and then close. That's it. It's one button they press, but it's automatic, so it's cool. It's just cool. So that 5 automatically gives it like a cool factor. So it may be a 5 out of 10 as far as how you can fidget with it, but as far as percentage-wise, it's a 5 out of 5 for fidgeting. I mean, deployment is strong, it's solid, it's just great. It's just, I love it. I love it. I can do this all day long, and it just goes all day long. It's just nice and strong. So I give it a 5 out of 5, so it means it's 100% as far as fidget for the most capability of fidgeting that you can do for long-term and short-term. Very comfortable. My hands don't get tired. It's very easy to work with. There's no hot spots. I'm not going to have a sore, bruise, blister or anything like that. So my overall thoughts. And is it recommended? Absolutely. This is a great knife. Absolutely phenomenal. Highly, highly, highly recommend this knife. Highly recommend anything from McNees. I am on the hunt for the manual frame lock. That's one of my grail knives. I definitely want to get that to add to my collection. And I know I always say I don't want to get 2 of the same knives, but to me this is an automatic. The other one is a frame lock. 2 very distinct knives, very distinct ways to use them and carry them, even though they're very similar in shape and size. What I would love to do is I'd love to get that Magnacut Tonto blade. If I can get that for the manual, that would be so cool. That would be also add a little uniqueness between the two. But I really, really want, because the frame lock version is so smooth. I've just heard nothing but phenomenal about it. I saw one in a gun show, and I tell you what, I handled it and dropped. It was beautiful. Absolutely. That's why I've been wanting to get one of these forever. So I'm going to highly recommend this. It is going to be in the higher end recommended knives. Definitely it's going to be, stretch your budget. If you want to get one of these, I'd definitely save up for it, which I did. or finance it if you need to, you know, go donate some plasma, I guess. I don't know, you know, whatever you got to do, right? But definitely, I think it's worth it. I think this is a knife you will enjoy if you're allowed to do automatics. Now, in some states, you may not be allowed to do automatics. This is definitely too big of a blade for California. It's definitely more than 2 inches. In some places, you're not even allowed automatics. So if that's the case, you can't carry it, right? Now, I think in some places you can have them, you can own them in your house, you just can't carry them anywhere. So you could own it and enjoy it at home, but you just can't do anything with it. In Texas, this is absolutely terrible. I can carry this anywhere and all the time when I want to, right? This is just an absolutely beautiful knife to carry, and I can pretty much use it anytime I want. So that's my recommendation on it. Those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts? Have any of you guys had one of these? You're fans of McNees? Have you been interested in McNees? Do you have any questions for me about McNees and this knife? I'd love to answer them. And I do try to read all my comments down below, so feel free to comment. If you have any questions about this review and future reviews or any suggestions, please feel free to comment down below. Any ideas for future videos, I'd love to hear the suggestions. I add those to my list all the time. And then I've actually recorded a couple of videos recently from some of those suggestions. So thank you. Hey, if you found this content fun, interesting, or worthwhile, would you please consider liking this video? And if you like this video, would you also consider subscribing to the channel for more content? And if you've already subscribed, maybe consider hitting that notification button so you can be notified of the content when it is released. Subscribing and liking the videos really helps out the channel. It helps me to grow and be able to do more for this channel and get more vendors and other people involved, which means more stuff for you guys. And I really appreciate that. You guys have made this channel, excuse me, you guys have made this channel really phenomenal. It's you guys who have just helped us to have a great channel and a great experience, and I really appreciate that. So just, you know, if you guys would just keep on subscribing, keep on liking, I would appreciate it. And thank you for watching the videos. And, you know, that's awesome. So if you found that interesting also, maybe check me out on Instagram as well. Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. That's robs_nerdy_knives on Instagram. Hey, thanks so much for watching today. Have a great day and a great week. Bye.